Buying and selling. See, up until now, we have assumed that income was given. Okay. Now, but what do you think people, how people earning? Okay, they're supplying some labor, they are trading some goods, and they're earning their incomes. Okay, either through the supply of labor or through trading of goods or whichever way. Okay, so here, and most of the times they are starting with certain level of endowments. Okay, so in this case, in case of buying and selling, we won't be assuming that the income is given, but we'll be assuming that you're born with certain level of endowments. Fine. Now, suppose consumer, uh, okay, so suppose consumer has certain level of endowments, and which we are going to denote by CW1, W2. The way wherein has written it is as omega 1, omega 2, but let's say it is like that. So this is the amount of the goods. So this is the amount of the goods he has before he enters the market. Is that right? So there is no trade has taken place, but and this is what he has entered the market. So he'll be selling or buying certain amount of goods with this. Fine. So then there are two concepts, related concepts. One is the gross demand. Another is the net demand. So this is the amount, your gross demand, okay, is the amount of the good the consumer actually ends up consuming. Amount of the goods he actually ends up consuming. And gross demand is the difference between, sorry, this was the, oh, I'm so sorry. This is the definition of gross demand. Fine. And your net demand is, I'll write it here. Net demand is, that is the difference between gross demands and the initial endowments. Okay, so this is what your net demand is. Now, of course, your net demand, it could be positive, it could be negative. So positive would be the case when you have more than what your endowment is, you're consuming more than what your endowment is. And negative is when you're consuming less than what your endowment is. Positive is generally the case when you supply the good. Okay, and negative is generally the case sorry, positive is generally the case when you demand the good, okay, and negative is generally the case when you supply the good. Is that right? So this happens.